And I know that's hard for some people to really come to grips with, but that's what we're talking about here. That's why I'm not worried about being killed or being tortured. That's why I don't have any fear. I don't have fear for my body. I have fear of failing. I have fear of not stopping these people and not awakening as many people as I possibly can. I only have anger and disgust with myself for not being more strong, not being a greater orator, not being more focused. But I'm human. I'm not perfect. But I can't help the level of disgust I have for myself because I know how real this is. And I catch myself going to movies. I catch myself going to steakhouses. I catch myself, getting into comedy and diversions. And it's true that all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. But even when I take a few hours off a week for myself, I can't. The enemy's coming over the parapets here, ladies and gentlemen. They're inside the fortress. They're attacking us on every angle. They're trafficking in men's souls. They're turning people into psychopaths that serve them. They're twisting our humanity. They're warping us. And I understand why you don't want to focus on this. I understand why you don't want to get involved fighting this, because you at a subconscious level are afraid and don't have respect for yourselves and can't see yourself as a leader in that role. All I'm telling you is this is an emergency global worldwide beacon putting out an SOS to the planet that I have done the research and many others have as well, and it is written on the wall clearly for all to see. And that's why I just want to say alert, 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 emergency, 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 emergency. We have a scientific group of control freak tyrants who openly brag in hundreds of publications that they've studied tyrannies of the past and that they are bringing forth what they believe is their greatest creation, an invincible evil. Hundreds of different forms of propaganda and mind control woven together. Chemical, biological attacks on the population, ongoing. Incremental creeping death. The new morals are torture and war and lies and corruption and delusion and disease. And it's because I understand the enemy's mind, and I'm here exposing it, that they are coming after us. There were 4 more articles I saw yesterday where the media is lying and saying I am calling for violence and for killing police and IRS workers. And I want to be careful here. I don't want to address this as if I'm on the defensive and I'm here saying it's not true. You know it's not true. Of course it's not true. And this shows how diabolical these people are. George Soros's Media Matters has come out with one of the most vicious pieces I've ever seen, openly claiming that I'm calling for violence. Clearly as a preparatory phase to try to sick the police and the IRS on us. And I'm not afraid of that. I'm not. But I do get worried because I want to continue my work. But it is the signet, it is the seal, it is the logo on our work that they are coming against us. Alex Jones pits Fox News versus Fox News. I'm going to read this later. We have a lot of good news as well that we're going to be covering. Once we're live on prisonplanet.tv, I can show you NASA time-lapse video from satellite of the Arctic, the North Pole. What the news does is they show you in the spring and summer the Arctic and the Antarctic, and they both have a different spring and summer, and they will show it shrinking in the summer and say, look, it's all melting, not telling you that in the fall and winter it will then expand again. It's a very simple parlor trick, but it scares children in the schools when they show them the video. But the good news is this is the biggest ice growth in a winter in 30 years, according to NASA satellites. This is in Business Week, AP, you name it. And it also isn't just the biggest growth in 30 years. This is the latest time in the year that it began to thaw. Satellites show that 2 days ago, some of the edges of the giant ice sheet began to break up and form ice floes and icebergs. It's another parlor trick the media does. They'll go point a camera at an ice floe or at a glacier and show it collapsing. Well, it builds up every year with rainfall, and then, of course, it's always growing, so it's collapsing out. Another parlor trick they use, but now it's a huge, another devastating blow because they're having to admit, okay, the Arctic and Antarctic, but this reports the Arctic, the North Pole, is just exploding in size. But I'll get into the value-added tax and the carbon tax. Obama's about to drop both hammers on you. Stay with us.
Fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, down, down.
Okay.
The flames went higher.
For more than 15 years,
burned,
that's just when I discovered it, the Republican Party has been preparing conservatives to believe in a value-added tax, national sales taxes and other taxes, as a Valhalla, as a heaven, as a way to really defeat the IRS. You notice the IRS is implementing the Obamacare, the Barry Soetoro care. And, of course, 94% of the lobbyist money from the healthcare industry went to pushing the takeover of healthcare. This is not some communist conspiracy. Oh, it's communism for us at the ground level, but only to feed the money into the banks. They are the authors of it all. And until Glenn Beck and Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity start explaining to you that mega corporations are the enemy and that they're the ones behind this, we're going nowhere. The Democrats lie to their constituents. This has all been set up, and they tell them, oh, we're going to give you something free. When they cut Medicare and Medicaid, raise the taxes, and lower the standard of care, and now they're admitting all this. You won't get knee surgery. You'll get a $10 cortisone steroid shot in your knee. That was in the news yesterday. We will decide with these government boards what health care you get. The insurance companies absolutely love it. They'll get the money, overcharge you for that, and then be able, with regular citizens who's paid for their insurance, to cut back on your care, to, quote, keep costs down in the industry. This is the trick of collectivism. Once they get you under their control, they just expand the control and reduce you to the level of feudal serfs. Slavery is what we're talking about here. High-tech, 21st century slavery. Now, it's the same thing with VAT taxes. You've got Obama proposing it. You've got socialist Europe that's had it for decades. You've got England that's got it. The communist Chinese have got it. And it's now being proposed as conservative. And the supposed conservative that runs Obama's economic team, Volcker, is saying we have to have it or we're bankrupt. And Glenn Beck and Neil Bortz and every one of these people is all over their TV and radio shows for years pushing that we've got to have these new taxes to get rid of the income tax. And I told you for 14 and a half years, they're not going to get rid of any of them. They're going to give you new taxes. And they're also going to track and trace everything you do, and they're going to make it a felony to have a garage sale or to be at a gun show and not pay the taxes. And you've already seen them make it a felony and $1 million fine. I mean, that's even AP and Fox News last year, regulatorily, if you have tens of thousands of so-called recalled products. If you sell any of those unknowingly at your garage sale, that's getting the camel's nose under the tent flap. And I tune into Glenn Beck maybe once a week, and most times I tune in, he's plugging VAT. So is O'Reilly. We're going to play you a clip of that coming up. Now, if you so-called conservatives out there that love all these illegal wars and love torture and love the Patriot Act and love warrantless spying and love Northcom and think it's all cute and we need the military on our streets, and if you don't like it, you're a traitor, you're going to be raped, okay? And it's your fault for being fools. I know most of you are as smart as I am or smarter, so you don't have any excuse anymore, okay? Just no excuses. If you don't wake up fully right now to the full paradigm and start deciphering the tricks they use to divide and conquer us, it's over. Because that's what the New World Order is. It is global standardization of taxes. When Obama, I've gotten emails in Jason Bermas's trailer for Invisible Empire, people say, are you saying Obama's good? He says no New World Order can lift any other nation above any other. No. When he says that, that doesn't mean raise other nations. That means lower the wealthy nations that had free market systems. That means lowering everyone, lowering us to third world level where we can be managed and controlled. It's bad what he's saying.